What's going on, guys? If you've been following me for a while, you're in Scorpio tankers right now. STNG is the ticker. It's still doing good. I am giving the thumbs up on stock NNA. That's the ticker. It's another tanker. 30% dividends. Or 30%, what the hell am I saying? 30-cent dividend. It's right around $6 right now. It's the 21st of April. And here's why I like tankers. If you didn't already know, in an oil contract, when you buy oil contracts, it's 1,000 barrels. When the contract is up, you own that oil. And as you saw yesterday on the 20th of April, everybody's freaking out because they don't want to get stuck with thousands of barrels. So basically the market in this massive oversupply is saying, hey, you've got to pay us $30 or $20 just to take the oil. That's why it's negative. So when it's negative, you're paying somebody to take that oil. And that's why you saw everybody getting out of those contracts. Oil is down again big today. Pippa Stevens on CNBC had an article about why it's not that big of a deal. I'm sorry, but yeah, this is a pretty big deal because there's no end in sight. To understand why this is happening and why it is such a big deal, you have to simply take into effect that the whole world economy shut down. Everybody stopped. Airlines, everything stopped. It's a pretty big deal because you've got 20 to 30 million barrels of oil in oversupply daily. And all that has to unwind back into the market down the road. You're talking I've seen as high as 1.5 billion barrels of oil in oversupply right now. You know, you have to be able to unwind that back into the market at maybe 2 million barrels a day, 3 million barrels a day. That's a lot of freaking oil. And that's why I like tankers, because tankers are cash registers. I've seen that storage is going as high as $4 a barrel for June and July. It could go higher. Short term is even bigger money. But tankers are the magical, I don't know what you call it. They're the magical fruit right now. They are the best to be right now to make money if you're going long. Strictly long. If you want a long stock, it's tankers. But everything else is in trouble. I tweeted today, if you follow me on Twitter, at Joshua Pollard, I tweeted today, the Sprayberry, which Pioneer has a substantial amount of conventional assets in, which conventional is cheaper to produce. Most of that is pipeline production, so it goes directly into a pipeline, which could cause problems because they could have to shut it in. That is an issue because if you're going to storage tanks like tank batteries and you're pumping a well, you can just keep it in the tank batteries and then sell at a later date. But if you're pipelining it, then you run into problems because it's got to go somewhere. Otherwise, you have to shut in the well. And it's hit or miss on what the Sprayberry does when you shut it in for a long time. It could damage the well bore, screw everything up. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. But I do know tankers will be good until at least second quarter earnings. Second quarter earnings, they should probably peak. They may be overbought by then, so I'd take profits. But yeah, this is definitely not a small deal by any means, like some of these reporters have said. Excluding war, all-out war in the Middle East that has severe disruption and or a hurricane wiping out all the tankers in the Gulf, I don't see this unwinding anytime soon. Like I said, you've got 1 billion barrels to unwind. How you do that, I do not know. You also have the threat of sanctions against China, shutting down their economy coming from Corona. If you saw my other video, if they don't pay countries, reimburse countries for the cost of Corona, you could see sanctions. And then what happens when a major oil consumer economy gets sanctioned and shut down? That's another real issue. So, and then you also have, hell, sanctions could hit even Tesla with their Chinese factory. Who knows? That's a whole nother ball of wax. That's all I got, guys. Please like, subscribe. Check out my 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And until next time, have a good one.